Hey, yo. I got a story to tell y'all. I just did the dumbest shit ever. Y'all gonna laugh at my stupid ass when I tell y'all this story. But it ain't funnier than the Dallas Cowboys hiring Brian Schottenheimer. Hey, the Cowboys are going out sad, man. I wish I could say I felt sorry for them, but I don't. I really don't. Hey, the coaching carousel is almost ready to come to a full stop. And we gonna talk about all of the hires that have been made. Hey, the Cowboys are sad, man. You locked into the Louie T Network podcast that starts now. The Louie T Network is powered by MusicHead University. MusicHeads, classes in session. Turn me up. Enroll on YouTube now. Link is in the description. Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Thank you for joining me on the 477th installment of the Louie T Network podcast. I, of course, am your set man, Louie T. Thank you for joining me. Let me first start off by saying, man, I really, truly appreciate each and every single one of y'all out there supporting me, man. Can't thank you guys enough. I just want to make sure y'all know how much y'all appreciate it. I think I tell y'all this enough, but sometimes what you think is enough ain't enough. And sometimes people just need to hear that. So I just want to make sure y'all know that I really, truly do appreciate y'all, man. I love each and every single one of y'all. Real talk. With that said, we're going to get to the coaching carousel. Shit's wild, bro. It's late night Louie edition. Y'all know what it is. I got my drink in my cup. And we going to turn up. 2 more sleeps till championship Sunday. Speaking of which, quick story to tell y'all. I got 2 stories to tell y'all to start the show off before we get to the gym dropping session. Y'all ain't gonna believe one of these stories. I'm a dumbass. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start with that. So the reason I was late, listen to what my dumbass did. So partially this is not my fault. So I was setting the stream up on StreamYard, right? And I hit the button to send the stream over to YouTube and out to y'all so y'all are aware that I'm trying to go live, all of that good stuff to make the stream a reality, essentially. I hit the button and it said there was an error, almost as if it didn't create the stream, right? So when you hit the create stream button, it's supposed to create the stream on StreamYard, create the stream on YouTube. Everybody's supposed to get the notification. Hey, Louie T's going live at XYZ time, etc., etc. And it said, oops, there was an error, as if it didn't create the shit. So I hit the create stream button again. And then it went through. So I was like, okay, the first one ain't work. So then I go to, finish setting everything up on the YouTube end. And it's 2 streams. I'm like, well, one of these shits ain't valid, so I'm going to just delete one. The other one should be fine, right? Wrong. I deleted one. Neither one of them worked after I deleted the first one. So here my dumb ass go. I set everything up. The stream was still on StreamYard, and one of them was still left on YouTube because it was showing 2 on YouTube and 1 on StreamYard. So I figured I deleted one, and the other one was the one that was on StreamYard, so I should be straight. So I tap in the StreamYard, I fire up the stream, I hit the live button, and I start talking. And here I am talking for like 17 minutes to nobody, right? And I'm looking in the comment section, and y'all just chatting away and ain't nobody reacting to nothing I'm saying. And I'm like, huh, that's weird. So I'm like, I keep talking anyway. I don't know why I didn't just stop at that moment and see what the hell was going on. I kept talking. And then I was like, yo, something ain't right. I look over at my stream and it's a red icon that says, looks like this stream has been deleted on YouTube. And I'm like, yeah, you got to be bullshitting me. So you telling me that, because the reason I knew something was wrong was I kept looking at the screen on YouTube Studio and it was just spinning and it was in a circle and it didn't have, the video. I couldn't see the video. So I'm like, what's up with that? So I hit the refresh button thinking it would pop up after that. And it still wasn't anything connecting to it. So I'm like, that's weird. So I look back at my monitor and I see the icon again and I actually read it because I saw the red icon, but I was like, whatever, they be having stupid shit pop up like, hey, Facebook is not connected to StreamYard right now. I'm like, I don't care about that shit. So I thought it was one of those type of little notifications. Then I actually stopped reading this fundamental. And I looked and I said, you dumb mother effer. And I realized y'all won't hear shit I was saying. I wasn't live, none of that. And I had been talking for like 15 minutes. Hey, I was looking really, really stupid for a second. I was like, man, they probably cussing me out. Like, bro, you supposed to have started. I was on time too. I had started that hoe at 11 o'clock. And I literally was talking till like 11:17. And I looked down and I ain't, man, what in the hell? Anyway, other story, right? So then I was talking to my sister today. And it's just another one of these surreal moments. 2 sleeps to the championship game on Sunday, if you're a Commanders fan. 2 sleeps. I was talking to my sister on the phone. She's Sister Lou, a.k.a. Falcons fan, a.k.a. notorious Kyle Shanahan and Dan Quinn hater. And so she's torn. She's been torn the entire playoffs. She loves her brother. She loves me. I love her even more. And so she wants to see me happy. But at the same time, she doesn't want to see Dan Quinn happy. So she's torn. And I'm like, come on, man. You got to let that shit go, bro. I've told y'all the story already. So she was talking about coming to the watch party. And I was like, nah, you ain't got to do that. She was coming because, and she was going to bring my sister and my mom with her because I thought about canceling it because we had a medical emergency in our family. And the person that the medical emergency happened to was like, nah, you can't cancel. Don't cancel on my behalf. And I was going to do it. And if I hadn't canceled the last one, I probably would have canceled this one. But 2 in a row, that's not good. That's not a good look. So she was like, nah, you can't do that. So my sister was going to come down because she felt like, we'll come down. And I'm like, nah, you don't got to do that. You good. I got it. So I was like, when the next time I'm going to see y'all, though? Because I miss my sister. I want to see my sisters. I want to see my mom, my dad, my sisters. When the next time I'm going to see y'all? She's like, I was just talking to your better half about that. And I was like, if we don't make the Super Bowl, and I paused because I actually heard the words that I said out of my mouth. If we don't make the Super Bowl, and it hit me again. And it's every time I have one of those surreal moments where I'm kind of like, it's almost like I'm out of my own body, where like when I was watching the press conferences for the first time this week and I saw the NFC championship backdrop and I froze like, oh shit. That says NFC championship game. Like that was another one of those moments where I heard my own voice and I was like, bro, you just said if y'all don't make the Super Bowl. What the did you just say out loud? And my sister was like, what happened? And I started laughing because I paused and I took it in and I was like, I said to her, I just said if we don't make the Super Bowl. And she starts laughing and she goes, "Oh, it's hitting you." I'm like, "It been hit me, but it's just it keeps hitting me over and over again." And she's like, "That's how I felt when we made it." She said, "I was the last one to make it out of everybody in the family." And, obviously my other sister, and my dad are Cowboys fans. Sister Lou is a Falcons fan, and I'm a Commanders fan. So of us, she was the last one to make it back in 2016. So she was like, when we beat Green Bay in the championship game, I kept having to pinch myself like, oh my God, we in the Super Bowl. I can't believe it. And, that's what this week has been for me. Like just a bunch of surreal moments where, yo, bro, we going to the chip, right? We going to the chip. And that was another one of those moments for me. So it's just crazy thinking, hey, 2 more sleeps, bro. And you watching your favorite team of all the teams you root for. I root for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, the Duke Blue Devils in college basketball, Notre Dame Fighting Irish in college football, Atlanta Braves in baseball, the Memphis Grizzlies in the NBA. None of them even come. If you put all of my fandom for those teams together combined, it still don't equal my love for the Commanders. It ain't even close, bro. My favorite team of all time, of all of the teams I root for, is 1 game away from winning it all. 2 games, obviously they got to win this one, but if they win this one, they have a chance to play for the biggest prize in all of sports. Unbelievable. Shit's still crazy to me, bro. But one thing I will tell you is we not some token team just happy to be here. Told y'all the house money shit is done. They got to deal with us. It's our time now. But it's still amazing just hearing that shit. Still seeing things visually that include us. We'll talk about Sunday though. We'll talk about that in a little bit. With that said, let's get to the gym drop. let's get to the gym dropping. Sir, I got a lot to talk about tonight, man. Hey. I got a lot to talk about tonight. The Texans fired Bobby Slowick? What? The Jags they bagged up Liam Cohen. I'm calling him from now on as Liam Cash Money Cohen. You remember the Wendy's commercial? Bag boys, what you gonna do? He's the bag man. Bag man, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when Cohen comes for you? Bag boys. What you gonna do when the bag man comes for you? And the Cowboys hired Brian Shaw. The Cowboys. Let's get to the gym dropping session, shall we? Hey, I think we shall. Let me drop this gym on your melon. Open your mind, let your conscience be free. You're now rolling with your man Louie T-double-E. Let me open you up. Let me get you thinking a little bit, man. So we've been covering this whole coaching carousel thing, and I want to take the holistic approach tonight because we're getting close to the end of this thing. It's almost at a full stop. So we're going to take the head coach, GM, and coordinator approach. So we're going to take that wide lens tonight because we almost done. It's really just a couple of teams left to hire, a coach, a GM, and like I think 2 teams still need to hire coordinators. But let's talk about it. So we'll go in the order in which I had them written down on my sheet. So we'll start with the Jets. They hired Aaron Glenn. We talked about that on the last podcast episode. And I think it's a great hire. But as I said yesterday, if he doesn't get a quarterback, he's going to end up like all the rest of the Jets coordinators or coaches, excuse me. And again, Jets love them some defensive coordinators, right? They love defensive coaches. I mean, we could rattle them all off. From Rex Ryan to Eric Mangini to Todd Bowles to obviously who they just had in Robert Saleh. I'm probably forgetting a dude or two in there. But they love them some defensive coaches. Now Aaron Glenn is added to the mix. Glenn can do some things with that defense, but once again, if I were him, and I advocated for this on the last episode of the podcast, get you a defensive coordinator, bruh. Oversee the entire operation. Don't be like one of your counterparts in Houston, in D'Amico Ryans, who struggles with the game management piece because he's a defensive play caller, as well as the head coach. You've been around enough dudes to see that the model that works best is to hire guys to call plays while you oversee the entire operation. A lot of times, first-time head coaches get caught up in, but I like calling plays. It isn't until your second go round where you like, nah, I ain't doing that shit again. I'm going to hire somebody to call them plays. Take it from me, Aaron. Hire you a defensive coordinator. Don't call the plays yourself. Oversee the operation. At least there's enough leeway that if the person that you hire as defensive coordinator isn't doing a good enough job, you can always take the play calling away from them. Last thing you want to do is be the play caller, shit's not working, and then you got to give it up. That's a bad look. Anyway, now, they don't have a GM currently. The assumption, and this was my assumption, this was not everybody else's assumption. My assumption was, oh, they're going to hire the Commanders' assistant GM, Lance Newmark, to pair with Aaron Glenn. They worked together for many years in Detroit. Oh, okay. Makes a ton of sense. He's gone. He's as good as gone. He had 2 interviews with them. I just knew it was a wrap. I said, oh, they doing this out of respect for the Commanders. They gonna wait till after the NFC Championship game to announce that he's the new general manager of the Jets. Well, Josina Anderson, and you know what I always say about old Josina. Now, I respect Josina. She's got enough contacts. She's worked at enough different places that were of high quality to be able to have connects and contacts around league circles that her word is trustworthy enough if you want to run with it. She's valid enough. I always say when it comes to Josina Anderson, take it with a grain of salt. But Josina be having some shit. So vibe with her. She put out today that her sources tell her, and again, take it for what it's worth. Nothing has been confirmed. Nothing has been solidified, but her sources tell her that the Jets are going to hire Broncos assistant GM Darren Mogi. If that is in fact the case, it looks like our guy, Lance Newmark, might be back in Washington for another year. I'm just trying to bring the band back together for one more year. That's all. I'm trying to get the Dan Campbell treatment, right, from Detroit from last year in terms of running it back. Now, the biggest difference is I ain't trying to bow out in the championship game like they did last year. I'm trying to go all the way to the chip and get it done and then run the shit back, right? But either way, we're going to see how it plays out. If Mogi is, in fact, the hire in New York to be the next GM, seems like Lance Newmark will be back in Washington as the assistant GM, and that's music to my ears. Give me one more draft. Give me one more year of continuity, and then everything that needs to happen can happen after that, right? So then you go to Chicago. Obviously, Ben Johnson got the job there, and I got to tell you this for context purposes. Ben Johnson signed roughly a 5-year deal worth $45 million. I think it. Wait. Let me do my math correctly. Boop 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 boop. Worth $65 million. The word out on the street, I can't confirm nor deny this. Word out on the street is he signed a deal that was worth $13 million per year. I did not stutter. Per year. Okay. I mean, look, he was the hottest thing since sliced bread. You were going to have to come up off the bag if you wanted him. Chicago wanted him bad enough. They mortgaged their future for Caleb Williams. You got to go get the coach, right? That's a lot. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Ask Snoop and Nelly if that's a lot of money or not. I don't know what the bag looked like for them to do what they did, but it must have been a substantial bag. It might have been a Ben Johnson bag. I don't know. We'll see what his situation looks like. I would assume he's calling plays. All offensive coordinators always call plays when they get a job. I've never once seen an offensive-minded coach get a job and say, you know what? I'm going to hire an offensive coordinator to call the plays. So the question will be, who does he hire as a defensive coordinator? That's going to be a big hire for him. Somebody in the comment section says 6 years, $80 million. I always go with the 5. If it was 6 for 80, that's crazy. What? 6 for 80? What if he stinks after 2 years and you still got to pay him for 4 more years after you fire him? What? What? It's wild. That's a lot of money. Keep that in mind. Keep that number in mind. Thank you for that, DR. We're going to come back to that money here in a second. Patriots hired Mike Vrabel. They were the first team in this process to hire someone. We already knew what was going down. When they fired one and done former Patriots linebackers coach, former Patriots linebacker, Gerard Mayo, you already knew they was making a beeline for Mike Vrabel. They got their guy. We've heard rumors of him wanting to trade for former Titans like Jeffrey Simmons and A.J. Brown. That sounds cool, but whatever, right? He's made a hire at OC already. I looked at Josh McDaniels and I said, man, you can't go back home. He said, you know when I heard that? When I was back home. Hey, how many times the Patriots gonna hire Josh McDaniels as their offensive coordinator, man? I'm sick of his ass working in New England as the offensive coordinator. I'm sick of this shit. But what I do know is he will do wonders for the Patriots quarterback, Drake May. I do know that. He made Mac Jones, the mickety Mac, bo. He made him look like a really competent NFL quarterback. But yikes, zoink, scoop. Third Times maybe the charm, I guess. Looks like Vrabel's about to try to get the band back together. All I'm waiting for now is for him to hire what's the dude that Matt Patricia. That's all I'm waiting for. Him to hire Matt Patricia. Bring him back. And the whole band will be back together. Anyhow, Cowboys. I'm about to pour me a drink. Hold on. I got to pour a drink for this one. I got to pour a drink for this one. Go ahead. Let me pour a little something in my cup for this one because we got to talk about this for a little bit. Hey, if you're a Commanders fan and Eagles fan, look, we don't agree often. We don't celebrate together often. But if you're a Giants, Eagles, and Commanders fan, cheers to you. Cheers to the demise of the Dallas Cowboys, the continued demise of the Cowboys. So let's talk about it. Jerry Wayne tonight, made it official. The Cowboys, we had heard rumors, and I told y'all where there's smoke, there is mother effing fire. Fire. That Brian Schottenheimer was dangerously close to becoming the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He had a 5-hour meeting the other day, and all signs pointed to him being the next head coach. Then the report came out that it's not about if they're looking to hire Brian Schottenheimer. It's more about how they're going to build around him. And I said, wait a minute. You the Dallas Cowboys. And remember, Troy Aikman said, this is not a coveted job. Like, don't get it twisted because you see the star and you recognize the brand and you think it's the Dallas Cowboys. Who wouldn't want to be the head coach there? If you've got options, you don't want to be the Cowboys head coach. Why would I want to go there and be under the control of Jerry Wayne and his minions? Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to work for an owner who does a press hit right after the game and then does a radio interview like every Tuesday, every week? Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to work for an organization where the owner doubles as the general manager? Why would I want to do that? Doesn't make sense. This is such a Jerry Jones move. This is such a Jerry Wayne Jones move. You know why he hired Brian Schottenheimer? I got 2 reasons why he hired him. He's cheap. That's number 1. That's the biggest reason why he hired him. He's cheap. And he's efficient. And when I say efficient, I'm not talking about the work that Brian Schottenheimer does. I'm talking about he's efficient for what the Cowboys want to do. They want a puppet. Jerry's always wanted a puppet. Jason Garrett, Wade Phillips, Mike McCarthy. He's always wanted a guy he can control. The last time he hired a coach he couldn't control, it was Bill Parcells. And he ain't like that shit. And he hasn't hired a coach like that since. It's not a coincidence. He didn't get along with Jimmy Johnson, the most successful coach in Cowboys history. That's probably not accurate. Probably Tom Landry. Shit, Tom Landry. How many Super Bowls Tom Landry win? 2, right? Jimmy won 3 of them hoes, and Jimmy won 2. I always give the 3rd Super Bowl to Jimmy too, even though it was Barry Switzer, because that was still Jimmy Johnson's team. Barry Switzer had that bitch on autopilot. That's Jimmy Johnson's. You might as well say he won 3 Super Bowls. But whatever. The last time he had a coach that could actually win some shit was Jimmy Johnson. But Jimmy wasn't no puppet. And Jerry wanted credit and wasn't nobody giving it to him because he ain't do shit. That was all Jimmy. So he got rid of Jimmy. And he hired his buddy from Oklahoma, Barry Switzer. And Barry won a Super Bowl based off of what Jimmy had instilled in the players, but that didn't last very long. Then he hired a puppet in Dave Campo. That was a disaster. And he said, all right, I got to get back to winning. So he hired Bill Parcells. But Bill said, hey, if you gonna ask me to cook the meal, at least let me shop for the groceries. Shit. Damn. That didn't go well because Parcells ain't no puppet. You ain't gonna tell me what to do with my team. You hired me. Let me do my job. Then they went through a slew of puppets. Dave Campo, Jason Garrett, Mike McCarthy. Now they're hiring Brian Schottenheimer, another puppet, another cheap, inexpensive puppet. That's efficient for Jerry. That's exactly right up his alley. He ain't want to pay Kellen Moore. He definitely wasn't paying Dion. He definitely wasn't paying Dion. I don't know if y'all saw on social media. Hey, it's a dude out there, man. I'm gonna have to. Y'all got to get access to this shit. If you ain't seen it already, you doing yourself a disservice. It's a dude that he got. I think he's on TikTok. I don't know where I saw it, whether it was IG or if it was on. I don't have a TikTok, so I'm never on TikTok. But he was either on X or IG. I saw it. This dude had Dion down to a science. He had the whole beard thing going, and he was like, "You know why I ain't working for the Cowboys?" And he did it in the Dion voice, because he ain't gonna pay me. And he had the Dion fingers down, the whole hand mannerisms, down to the bull junk and Dern. And I'm telling you, man, if you watch that, you'd be like, "Yo, bro, he nailed it." We all knew Dion wasn't going to Dallas because he wasn't going to pay him. I don't know how much. I just told you Ben Johnson is getting $13 million a year. Somebody said 6 for 80. That sounds about right. You think Jerry's paying that kind of money for a coach? You know, you can pay a coach and it doesn't count against your cap, right? You can pay your coach whatever you want. You can pay your assistants whatever you want. It doesn't count against the cap. Jerry like, nah, hell no. I ain't paying no goddamn coach no real money. The hell's wrong with you? I'll donate to Trump's campaign and his inauguration party, but I ain't paying no coach. You sick? Hey, this is what you rooting for, Cowboys fans. I love it. This man just really hired Brian Schottenheimer. What has Brian Schottenheimer done to even be considered? Nobody else in the league. I promise you. I promise you. No other team in the league was considering Brian Schottenheimer for a head coaching job. I promise you. Not even the Saints. They still don't got a coach. And they weren't even considering Brian Schottenheimer. I promise you. Nobody, and I mean nobody, was hiring Brian Schottenheimer, bro. And you hired him like you just did something great. And Jerry had the audacity. He's a coordinator no longer. like Cowboys fans supposed to be rejoicing everywhere that you just hired Brian Schottenheimer. Oh, man, I love this shit, man. The Cowboys are an abject disaster. They remind me of Dumb and Dumber, one of my favorite movies. And he said, Harry, you're one pathetic loser. He said, no offense. He said, none taken. The Cowboys are one pathetic loser. They are one pathetic loser, man. And the bad part is, it's no end in sight. Jerry passing that thing on to Steven, Steven passing that thing on to his son. And hey, you stuck in purgatory, in NFC East hell, as long as Jerry Jones is your owner. Cheers to that shit. Well, he 82? Here's to Jerry Jones living to 182 years old. Cheers. If y'all want, I'll start a GoFundMe for a cryogenic tank for this man to freeze him and then thaw him out. Like I said, long live Jerry. Long live Jer. Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer? Really? Hey, somebody called him the, what did Law call him? The Timu what? The Timu who? Kellen Moore? He said they do everything on Timu. Hey, while you at it, re-sign Rico Dowdle while you at it. You could have had Derrick Henry, but you decided that you was going to roll with Rico Dowdle. Go ahead and re-sign Rico Dowdle. Don't draft it back. You know, Genty and all these people that y'all have in these mock drafts. I couldn't tell you. I don't know what the mock drafts look like right now. Go ahead and re-sign Rico Dowdle, though. Go ahead and do that. You know what? Rico might cost too much in free agency. He might be more willing to draft a running back because it's cheap labor for 4 years, 5 years, if he's a first round pick, than signing Rico Dowdle to a modest 2-year, $7 million deal. He might just sign him. He might just draft a rookie instead. Hey, Jerry be penny pinching over there, man. Hey, Cowboys fans. I really wish I could say to y'all, I feel sorry for you, but I'd be lying. I'd be disingenuous. I'd be lying to y'all if I said that. Oh, man. Brian Schottenheimer. You know the video with the dude drinking Clorox? Act like he drinking Clorox. You know, act like he about to set himself on fire with the match, right? Act like he about to jump out the window, like, and he just laughing. That's the Cowboys. Hey. Listen up. Hear me now, hear me loud, Cowboys fans. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This is some serious shit. This is some real shit. Listen up. Y'all ain't shit, and y'all ain't never gonna be shit as long as Jerry Jones is your owner. And I mean that with every fiber of my being. And nobody deserves it more than you. On to New Orleans. I told y'all a week ago that was the worst job. And that they would probably be the Carolina Panthers of this coaching cycle. Voila. Everybody else has filled their head coaching vacancy except the Saints. Go figure. Somebody's going to take the job. It's only 32 of these. All right. So somebody's going to take the job eventually. My mind has always been set on Mike McCarthy, right? He left Dallas. There was this thought that he was going to get a job immediately somewhere, Chicago, one of these other. Just New Orleans makes a ton of sense. Nobody else wants the job. Mike doesn't want to look like a simp for leaving Dallas and not being able to get a job. It'll validate what Jerry did if he doesn't get work somewhere else. So I can see him taking his job. But you know, you ever heard the expression, all money ain't good money? All jobs ain't good jobs. If you Mike McCarthy and you still believe in your ability to coach and you think that you still carry weight, your name still carries weight, don't take the New Orleans job. If you're not sure that the name Mike McCarthy, that brand still carries weight, like, you know how Mike Vrabel was able to take off a coaching cycle? Like, I'm going to just chill. I'm going to go be the special assistant to the head coach in Cleveland. I'm going to just chill. And in the next cycle, that man was as hot as fish grease. If you don't think you can do one of them type of moves where you just sit out a year, the shit kind of simmers down, and then everybody's like, yo, Mike McCarthy, he's out there. If you don't think that your brand is strong enough to bounce back, like round ball, you got to take the Saints job, bro. You got to go after that aggressively. Now, if you think your shit can bounce back and you think that next year they're going to be like, yo, Mike McCarthy's available. You got a young quarterback. Mike McCarthy could do wonders with him. If you think your shit is that strong, sit out, bro. You don't want this job. This is a dead-end job. You'll be fired in 2 years. Leave it alone. But, again, if you don't think you can get a job next year and you think people are going to be, they can't keep on passing me by. If they're going to keep passing you by, can't keep on passing me by. And next thing you know, you look around and you ain't had a job in 2 years, take the job, bro. Go get the Saints job. Man, that's a desolate job, bro. Saints job. Derek Carr is your quarterback. That's some nasty work. That's why they ain't got a coach yet. That's why they're the last one. Jacksonville. Let's talk about the Jags. We got to talk about the Jags, man. We got to talk about the Jags. This shit was crazy. So this is a whole saga. This is a whole entire saga with Liam Coen, which, first of all, I said the Jags needed to hire him. I was like, if I'm Jacksonville, I'm doing everything in my power to get Liam Coen, right? I just didn't know they were going to go to these extremes to get him. So I have it on authority that this is how the phone call between Liam Coen and the Jacksonville Jaguars went. Bring, bring. Hello? I thought I told y'all don't call me again. I thought I had my agent tell you I wasn't interested in your job. Do me a favor, lose my number. Wait. What? How much money? Ben Johnson money? I get to pick my own GM. How early you want me to come out there? 9 o'clock? I'll be on the first flight out. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. That's how the Jacksonville phone call went to Liam Coen. He wanted no parts of Jacksonville. Even after they fired their GM, Trent Baalke. We talked about that last episode. They realized they made a mistake. And when you make mistakes, you got to pay for mistakes. I talked about that already. You got to pay for mistakes. Mistakes are not free. Whether you pay financially or you pay emotionally or you pay physically, mistakes are not free. Sheed Khan was willing to pay financially for the mistake he made with Trent Baalke. Now, here's where shit gets interesting with this whole Liam Coen situation. So remember, Jacksonville was sniffing around Liam Coen at the beginning, and then he was like, I don't want to work with Trent Baalke. I'm good. So he went back to Tampa, was like, hey, my name is buzzing in these streets. If y'all want me to come back and coach Baker for a second year, I need a raise. It was like, yo, we prepared to make you one of the highest paid coordinators in the league, bro. He was like, bet. I mean, y'all get the papers together. I'ma sign on the dotted line. And they was like, bet. I'm gonna have that paper for you in the morning. He was like, all right, word. Then that phone rang. Bring, bring. Yeah. Hello? Man, I told y'all already I ain't interested, and I told my agent to tell y'all I wasn't interested. Stop calling me, lose my number. You, how much? Ben Johnson money? I'm listening. Remember when Dave Chappelle was talking to the Texan and he was talking about beating up Mexicans? You got my attention. He's like, I'm listening. You got my attention. And I get to pick my own GM. If you can have this in writing by tomorrow morning, I'm on the first flight out to Jayville. Yeah? All right, fax is over to my agent. If he gives me the okay, Duval, I'll be there in the morning. First flight out. All right. Yeah. Tampa Bay was like, yo, hey, Liam, we got them papers ready for you to sign, bro. Hey, Liam. They was hitting his line. He was sending them straight. Hey, he was sending them straight to voicemail. He was leaving them on red. They text him, hey, Liam, we got them papers, bro. They even sent them a picture of the contract. Like, yo, here it go right here. What's good? They couldn't get a contact. He ghosted the shit out of their ass. He ghosted their ass like a catfish on the interweb. They was looking for their offensive coordinator, and this man was out here in Jacksonville after the bag. Bag man, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when Liam comes for you? Bag man, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when he comes for you? This man got Ben Johnson money. And I don't know about you, but that's a lot of money. 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 He couldn't turn it down. That man took 1 year in Tampa with, and now granted, Baker had 41 touchdown passes, bro. Like Liam was doing his thing. That's why I said, hey, Jayville, if I'm you, I'm going to go after him. That's a lot of money. Now, did he exceed Ben Johnson? Or did he just fall under Ben? Like, if they said we giving you 5 years, 65, that's 13, right? That's 13, right? 5 years, 65. Ben is 6 years, 80. If what y'all told me is correct, and I trust y'all. That's 13.3. 5 years, 65 is 13. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a dude that's a one-hit wonder at coordinator. He didn't even prove it. He didn't even prove he could do it 2 years in a row. It ain't like the Bucs won the Super Bowl with this man. They just made it to the wild card weekend before getting bounced by who they lose to. Never mind. That's a good hire for Jacksonville, but damn. Liam Cash Money Cohen. Bling, bling. Every time he come around your city, bling, bling. Liam Cash Money Cohen. Hey, bling, bling. Every time he come around your city, bling, bling. What y'all gonna do with Liam Cash Money Cohen? Damn, he a beast. It's a damn shame what he did to them Bucs, though. It's a damn shame what he did to them Bucs. For the second straight year, My guy, Todd Bowles, has to find himself an offensive coordinator. He done picked 2 good ones in a row. He got jerked this time. Now he got to figure out what he going to do at coordinator again. Liam Cash Money Cohen. Good for you, bro. Good hire by Jacksonville. Look, we don't know what kind of leader of men he is. We know what kind of a play caller he's shown the propensity to be. I think he's a great fit for Trevor Lawrence. And there's talent in Jacksonville, as I've already said. So he can do wonders with what's there. The question is he a leader of men? Can he get people to follow him? Is there a message that he can get across to his team and motivate them to go out and win what is one of the worst, if not the worst division in all of football? The AFC South. And he gets to pick his own GM. I'm fascinated to see what he decides to do here. Or at least be a part of the discussion, a big part of it. It's a hell of a package. See, this is the problem with rich people. They think they could throw money at a problem. Like, he created a problem. Now I'm going to throw a bunch of money at it to fix it. You better be right. You better be right. Bling, bling. Every time he come around your city, bling, bling. Liam Cash Money Cohen. Where them dollars at? Hey, where them dollars at? Hey, where them dollars at? Hey, where them dollars at? Then there are the Las Vegas Raiders. Vegas Raiders. I was having a conversation with my buddy. I told y'all one of my best friends. So I got 2 best friends. One's a Bucs fan. One's a Raiders fan. So I was talking to my Raiders best friend. And we were talking yesterday. He said, man, matter of fact, we're talking 2 days ago now. If you're on the East Coast, we were talking on Thursday. He said, I'm back to square one, ain't I? Because for a minute there, guilty as charged. Let me put my hand up. Guilty as charged. He said, I thought that the Raiders were going to hire Ben Johnson. Remember? Man, life comes at you fast. A week ago, I did a podcast and it was like, yo, Tom Brady got the juice, bro. He finna get Ben Johnson and Lance Newmark in Vegas? How? Why? Like, yo, Brady got the juice, bro. This shit is wild. They fired Antonio Pierce. 2 days later, they fired Tom Telesco, and I'm like, it's gotta be a reason. Like Spike Lee, it's gotta be the shoes. It's gotta be the shoes. It's gotta be the juice from Tom Brady. It's gotta be for Ben Johnson. Why else would you clean house like that? Then Brady gave his explanation of, hey, if you're gonna hire a coach, you might as well like get the GM and the coach and have them be tied at the hip. Okay. Just felt like Ben Johnson and Lance Newmark. It's like, yo, this is crazy, bro. And then Ben Johnson chooses the Bears. And you're like, oh, shit. Well, what does that leave the Raiders then? Because much like the Saints job, you're kind of in no man's land in Vegas. Like, no quarterback, don't have a high leverage pick, not going to be able to get one of the elite quarterbacks in this draft class. Hold on. Elite quarterbacks in this draft class. What do I do? Why would I take the Vegas job? Why is that an appealing job to me? don't know why you would take that job. I wouldn't take it unless I'm trying to get back into the NFL. Enter in Pete Carroll, everyone's favorite grandpa coach. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, what up, Pete? Everybody's favorite Bazooka Joe chewing head coach. Big League Chew, Bazooka Joe, Bubblicious, any gum you can name, this man has in that wad of gum he's got in the side of his cheek that looks like a big wad of tobacco. I miss that. I ain't gonna front. I miss Pete over there working over that wad of gum on the sideline, walking up and down, clapping, trying to energize his troops. I miss that. I ain't gonna front. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. They hired John Spytek as their general manager, the assistant Bucks GM to be their GM, and then they promptly hire Pete Carroll as their head coach. I got to talk to my boy and ask him how he feels about this. I already know what he's going to say. I know him like the back of my hand. We've been boys since middle school. I already know how he feels about this hire. This does not move the needle for him at all. But maybe Pete is able to instill culture out there. They need it in the worst way right after a long day in Vegas. I just don't know how many football games you're going to win with no quarterback. Now, you saw what everybody was doing, right? With this Pete Carroll hire. Hey, Russ, he's available. Contract up in Pittsburgh. How about a Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson reunion in Vegas? And I'm like, yeah. No. Don't nobody want that shit. Don't nobody want that shit. Pete didn't even want Russ at the end of his Seattle tenure. Why would he want to go to Vegas and start his Vegas tenure with a dude he didn't even want at the end of his Seattle tenure? Make it make sense. I'm waiting. Tell me why that makes sense. Who watched Russ play this year and was like, yo, you got to go get Russ and start him. That's the shit right there, bro. That's 10 wins right there. Who felt that way? Not me. I can't speak for you. Not me. I didn't say that. Now, if you don't have no options, it might beat the alternative. But that reminds me of when Rivera took the job in Washington. Everybody, yo, go get Cam Newton. Yo, go get Cam. Yo, that shit would be fire if you went and got Cam. No, it wouldn't be fire. Why would I want him to do that? This ain't 2015, and this ain't 2013 for Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson. Let the past be the past. I'm happy for Pete, though, that he's back in the game. We'll see what ends up happening. You got to get a quarterback. Like I said with Aaron Glenn, some of these jobs are tough because you take it and you're like, yo, I don't know what you're going to do at quarterback. Like Mike Vrabel got a quarterback. Ben Johnson got a quarterback. Liam Cohen got a quarterback. Aaron Glenn and Pete Carroll do not have quarterbacks. And you don't have top picks. Ooh, ouch. Now, I mean, Aaron Glenn could have Aaron Rodgers. Aaron to Aaron. Maybe he has a sit down and they have an Aaron to Aaron talk. Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out, but we'll see about that. Now, so there's just one head coaching vacancy left, and that's in New Orleans. So we'll see what they do. You go to the GM position, and we talked about the Jets. They have a vacancy, but Darren Mogi, according to Josina Anderson, again, take it with a grain of salt, the assistant GM of the Denver Broncos, is going to be the guy in New York for the Jets. Again, we'll see if that turns out to be the case. The Jags have not hired a GM. Liam Cohen, a.k.a. Liam Cash Money Cohen, bling, bling. Every time he come around your city, bling, bling, is going to have a say-so in the new head coach. Or, excuse me, the new GM in Jacksonville. So we'll wait and see how that turns out. Mike Borgonzi. Let's talk about him in Tennessee, the new Tennessee Titans general manager, the former Chiefs assistant GM, made some interesting comments this week. Let's talk about it quickly. He said, "We're not passing on a generational talent at one." Generational talent, you say? Is that right? Generational talent. What does that mean? Let's assess his statement. Generational talent is a phrase that has been thrown around way too loosely here over the last decade. We've given guys like Chase Young generational talent tags. We should stop doing that. It's not safe. It's not right to the guys that are actually generational talents. That said, he said, "We're not passing on a generational talent." Let me ask you, do the Titans have a quarterback right now on their roster that you would be willing to go into the 2025 season with as your starter? I'll give you a hint. There are two letters in the answer. The first is N and the last letter is O. Can you guess the answer? Time's up. If you said no, you're correct. So, are you willing to pass on a quarterback? Because you said generational talent. Last time I checked, nobody, and I mean nobody, not even Deion Sanders, thinks his son is a generational talent. Okay. Let's be honest. It ain't Cameron Ward and it ain't Shador Sanders. The only generational talent in this draft is either Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. It's probably Travis Hunter he's referring to. Fine. So again, if you're willing to take Travis Hunter, meanwhile not having a quarterback, that's the equivalent of drafting Myles Garrett #1, but not having a quarterback, and then having Myles Garrett 5 years later say, either y'all show me a plan or I want out of this bitch because I'm sick of losing. What good is it to have a generational talent if you don't have a quarterback? I would love to ask Titans fans who are out there, and I know there aren't many of you. It's like 6 of you. Well, if one of the 6 of you would like to respond to this, I would love to know how you feel. Do you want a quarterback at 1, or would you be willing to pass on quarterback for a generational talent? That was coming out of one side of Mike Borgonzi's mouth. Out of the other side of Mike Borgonzi's mouth, he said, "Hey, we're willing to trade the number 1 overall pick. He took the job and just went straight to dum-dum mode. Because if you really wanted to assess the value of this pick, you should have been talking up the quarterbacks. Like, oh man, this is a great draft for quarterbacks. We love 2 of the guys at the top of this draft, and we're prepared to take one of them. That's how you maximize this pick. Not saying we're not passing on a generational talent. You stupid idiot. You got to hit him with the Ren and Stimpy. You stupid idiot. If I know that you're prepared to take Travis Hunter, and you could be bullshitting me, but what benefit does that give you? Like, you got the number 1. This is what I always say about the number 1 pick. Unless you're looking to trade it, what benefit is it for you to lie? You don't have to trick anybody. You got the number 1 pick. You get to pick whatever player you deem to be the best in the draft and the best for your organization. You don't have to trick anybody. There doesn't have to be any sleight of hand. You don't have to try to push somebody up the draft board so somebody can fall to you. You got the number 1 pick. I'll never understand some of these clowns. Hey, Titans, good luck. You're going to need it. So 1 GM job left. That's in Jacksonville. 2 technically, if you don't believe Josina Anderson. We'll see what happens with the Jets and the Jags. We'll keep our eyes peeled for both of those. Then we get to the coordinator realm. We talked about the Patriots hiring Josh McDaniels as their offensive coordinator. So that's been done. The Colts fired their defensive coordinator, right? Gus Bradley. And they hired, Cincinnati fired defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo. So Lou Anarumo lands on his feet in Indianapolis. He wasn't out of work very long. I actually thought that obviously it didn't go well for him this year. And the reason they didn't make the playoffs was because of him. Somebody had to be the scapegoat in Cincinnati since they weren't going to fire their head coach. The part that really bothered me about him getting fired was he had done such a great job for so many years. And the 1 year that he wasn't good, you decide, all right, you got to go. I mean, that's the nature of the NFL. That's the nature of the beast, but that sucks. I'm glad he landed on his feet because he's a good defensive coordinator. Speaking of Cincinnati, obviously they fired Lou Anarumo. So they had a vacancy at defensive coordinator. We talked about this last episode. They hired former University of Miami head coach and Notre Dame Fighting Irish defensive coordinator, former Notre Dame Fighting Irish coordinator, who was a huge part of why Notre Dame was able to make it to the national title game this year. Al Golden, who I thought was fantastic. I thought he was fan-effing-tastic at Notre Dame, and they're going to miss him bad. I think that's a really good hire. We'll see what he does for the Cincinnati Bengals, but I actually really like that hire of Al Golden. Seattle fired their offensive coordinator, Ryan Grubb. They still have not hired an offensive coordinator yet. Bobby Slowick, anyone? I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, I digress. You know, defensive-minded head coaches love coaches that like to run the ball. I'm just saying. As we proceed to give you what you need, the Cleveland Browns, or excuse me, the Houston Texans. Let's talk about it. I just talked about Bobby Slowick. What in the hell is going on? As a wise man said, who in the hell left the gate open? I don't know. But the Texans, they sure are slamming that hole shut without a lot of guys that was there last year inside the gate. They first started off by firing team president Greg Grissom. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I don't know what Greg Grissom did wrong to be fired, but okay. Clearly, they didn't think Greg Grissom was doing a good job. Shit happens, right? Then 2 days later, they fired Bobby Slowick, and I'm like, wait. What? I thought somebody was trolling on socials. When I saw that, I was like, hey man, y'all tripping, man. y'all tripping. Stop playing. Bobby Slowick fired, man. Y'all wilding. Then I was like, I looked at the account it was coming from. I was like, no, this is a reputable account right here. What you saying to me right now? Bobby Slowick. This man was the hottest. This man was one of the hottest commodities last year. So much so, similar to Liam Cohen, the Texans had to get this man a raise to get him to not take a job last year. He went back to Houston because he wasn't going to get a job, more likely than not. But there were jobs out there that he could have settled for, like a Carolina, for instance. He could have taken that job. And in order to ensure that he didn't take some, bullshit ass job just to say I'm a head coach, they had to up his salary. So they gave that man more money. And then in 1 year's time, you fire him? So you fire your team president, you fire your offensive line coach, and you fire your offensive coordinator. I'm like, wait a minute. You do know y'all won the division, right? For the second year in a row. You do know that Tank Dell got injured. You do know that Stephon Diggs got injured. You do know that you had a slew of injuries this year and you still won the division. Correct. I mean, as long as we clear on this and you still want to do whatever it is you want to do, I'm fine with that. I just want to know we clear on this, right? That all of these things transpired and you still won the division. And it was like, yeah, we know. I'm like, okay. You do know that your game management is among the worst in the NFL, right? And that don't have shit to do with Bobby Slowick. You are aware of that, right? It was like, do tell. Explain yourself. And I'm like, you don't remember the Buffalo game? You don't remember the Indy game before halftime? You don't remember the playoff game against Kansas City? Do I need to keep going? It was like, yeah, I do remember all of those instances. Bobby ain't had nothing to do with that. I was like, no, he didn't. It was like, Greg Grissom ain't had nothing to do with that. I'm like, no, he didn't. Oh, well, we'll get a new team president and a new offensive coordinator and a new offensive line coach. They weren't good enough. Damn, it's a shame when you start trying to blame folks. Like, somebody got to be the scapegoat. Like, they clean the house in Houston. Like, they ain't just win their second consecutive AFC South title. Like, I get it. You went all in and it didn't work, but it didn't work because guys got hurt. It didn't work. It didn't fail because it wasn't good enough. Now, was Slowick great this year? Nah, maybe not. But I don't think it was all him. I think CJ took a step back because, again, I told CJ, I was like, bro, you want this shit to work, you got to run, bro. You can't just stand back there. You got to run, bro. He finally started running in the playoffs. If he was doing that during the course of the regular season, the offense, I bet you, would have worked a lot better. Joe Mixon made the Pro Bowl, bro. Like, he had a resurgence in his career. You think that's an accident? You don't think that Bobby Slowick had anything to do with that? You fire your offensive line coach and you had all kinds of injuries and you mixed and matched parts. And again, Joe Mixon went to the Pro Bowl and had a resurgence. And you thought you needed to clean house? That shit's crazy to me, bro. That's wild. Somebody had the audacity to say, "Hey, Louie T, we should go get Bobby Slowick." I was like, "What are you talking about, man? Don't at me with no bullshit, okay? Keep your bullshit to yourself. Don't at me with no bullshit." So I'm fascinated to see what the Texans decide to do, and I'm assuming Bobby Slowick's going to end up back in San Francisco. I mean, he take one of these jobs. There's a lot of teams that's going to be looking for offensive coordinators. I I think he could land on his feet, but if worst case scenario, you can always go back to San Francisco. You know, always go back to San Francisco. Just like, speaking of San Francisco, perfect segue. Robert Saleh reportedly is going to end up back in San Francisco and become the highest paid defensive coordinator in the league. Remember, the 49ers moved on from Steve Wilks after this season didn't go the way. Well, actually, excuse me, Steve Wilks the year before when they went to the Super Bowl and didn't win it, they moved on from Steve Wilks. They had another defensive coordinator last year. Don't remember his name. Insignificant. He's not back this year, obviously. And now they're going to try and bring back Robert Saleh and pay him the most money of any defensive coordinator in the league. Saleh thought he was going to get a head coaching job in either Vegas or Jacksonville. Clearly, both of those teams went in different directions, so he's kind of odd man out. Nobody wants the Saints job. So he's like, I'll just take a coordinator job and maybe my name will pop up next year. If the 49ers defense rises up from the ashes and is really good again, and they make it to the Super Bowl, the NFC Championship game, etc., Robert Saleh might be right back in that conversation again, right? So much for, I'm telling you, man, I think it's going to be really hard for Brian Flores to get a job. So much for Brian Flores is going to be one of the hottest candidates. I don't even recall that man's name coming up in a single interview for any of these teams. Do you? I could have missed it. I don't even recall him getting an interview request. Do y'all recall him getting a request to interview? He might have. I could have missed it. Does anybody recall hearing Brian Flores being interviewed or requested to interview? Hey, look, at this point, he probably should just feel fortunate to be a coordinator again because I thought he was about to get the Colin Kaepernick treatment. If not for Mike Tomlin, he probably would have. But I don't recall him getting the opportunity to interview for any of these jobs. I could be wrong. But anyway, I digress. Let's get to social media maneuvers. I'm a midnight marauder. Y'all know what it is. Late night Louie in the building. Kicking it with y'all. So, y'all know how this works. You want your comment read on the air? Super chats are the way to get that done. But that's not the only way you can have your comment read on the air. You can use the hashtag LouieTLive to have your comment read on the air if it is pertinent. We will get to it if time permits. And since I ain't got shit going on, it's late night Louie. I got a little bit of time to burn, so we can do that. But that's up to y'all. Before we get to that, though, gotta hit y'all I got to pay some bills, man. You know how this goes, man. Take a quick break. Come back on the other side, and we'll jump into the comment section. Let go. What's going on? It's your man Louie T here on behalf of Mando. New year, new me. That's right. It's 2025, and I left some things in 2024. Let's see. Baggage, losing of any kind, and of course, odor. That's right. Funk is not traveling with me in 2025. And you know what I brought with me to ensure that that didn't happen? That's right. I brought Mando. Here's why. Whole body deodorant that's safe to use anywhere on your body. Pits, package, grundle, feet, belly button, butt crack, stomach folds. Anywhere funk travels, anywhere with hair, Mando can go there. Attacks odors aggressively. Clinically proven to control odor for up to 72 hours. Available in 4 cologne quality scents. Bourbon leather, Mount Fuji, Clover Woods, and my personal favorite, Pro Sport. So listen up. Your man Louie T has a deal for you. If you're a new user, right, use the promo code Louie T. Head over to mandopodcast.com/Louie T to get you 40% off, right? $5 off. That's 40% off of a Mando starter pack that includes a stick deodorant, a cream tube deodorant, and 2 free gifts of your choice, like wipes or something along that line. Look, you can't go wrong with Mando. If you're looking to kill and conquer odor in 2025, what are you waiting on? Get Mando. That's shopmando.com, shopmando.com. Use the promo code Louie T, or you can go to mandopodcast.com/Louie T. Either way, that's going to get you that $5 off. That's 40% off of their starter pack. Look, man, I wouldn't lead you astray. And some of y'all were funky in 2024. I'm going to keep it a bean. Some of y'all were funky and raunchy in 2024. Here's your answer in 2025. Get you some Mando. Get y'all some Mando, man. Stop playing. Some of y'all out there a little tart. Stop playing and get that Mando. Knock that odor out. Anyway, let's get to social media maneuvers. I'm a midnight marauder. Y'all know what it is. Want your comment read? Hashtag Louie T Live to have it read if it is pertinent and time permits. If you want to ensure your comment is read, super chats are the way to get that done. Let's get it. The Cubone. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy, the Cubone. Q, what up? What up, Lou? It's good. What a wild week it has been in Jacksonville. Say less. I still can't believe that Boogie Man Bulky is gone. Boogie Man Bulky. I love it. And Liam Cash Money Cohen is our head coach. Bling, bling. Every time he come around your city, bling, bling. I like the hire. I love the hire. I don't necessarily love the way you had to go about it, but who's gonna deal with all of that minutia, right? Like, who's gonna deal with the how, when, and the why? Let's just deal with the you got it done. Let's just talk about that. You got it done, Q. Good for you. And I'm glad y'all were able to get the guy that you probably coveted after Ben Johnson all along, right? Good for you. Mr. Pink, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, my $100 bet at plus 5,000 to win the Super Bowl looking spicy. Yeah. Yeah, that's looking real spicy right now. You 2 wins away from getting 5 bands. Look, man. You win this one, you getting it. I told you this though. The team that won the divisional round game between the Lions and the Commanders was going to the Super Bowl. I meant that with every fiber of my being. So you're gonna have a shot at that 5K. Can they bring it home for you? Is the real question. But one at a time. Gotta get this one first. Gotta get this one first. But I gotta be more like y'all. Like, I ain't gonna front. I never thought that was possible. Not this year, but sometimes just put a little something down. Like, it ain't gonna hurt you. Just put a little something down. Put a little something down. Good for you for putting a little something down. Now you might reap the benefits of a lot of something if it comes to fruition. P for Noopin. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, don't blame Cohen for taking the bag. I don't blame him for taking the bag at all. But the way he handled it, it had shades of Bobby Petrino. Should give your sister bad memories. Yeah. He did not handle his exit from Tampa Bay well at all. That was some real buster shit that he did. But hey, I ain't mad at him. I blame Tampa Bay for that though. Like, they put the word out on the street that, hey, our guy is back and we about to make him the highest paid offensive coordinator in the league before they actually put the contract in front of him. You don't let him leave without signing that deal. You don't announce that to the world until you got that signature on that paper. They played themselves. Because Liam was like, oh, no, I'm coming back because I ain't taking the Jacksonville job. And then they hit him with that Ben Johnson money. And he was like, Ben Johnson money? He started doing calculations. He's like, he got 13 mil a year. Plus, you trying to pay me that? Because in that case, I'm your man. I used to watch this show back in the day. It was like, I forgot the name of the show. It was like, I can't remember the name of it. It was like a little police show where they would like drive around and pull people over. I just remember the theme song because I'm a music head. So I just remember the theme song from it. And it went, if you want somebody, I'm the man. I don't know why I remember that shit. If you need somebody, I'm the man. It was the stupidest theme song. But I remember it. It was like tales of the state troopers of Chicago. Some stupid shit like that. I don't remember what it was called. But I just remember the song. If you want somebody, I'm the man. And that's what Liam Cohen was saying. If you need somebody, pay the man, and I'll be your man. And he was. Jacksonville, special kind of fool. We talked about that the other day, didn't we, Miss Champion? Miss Championship. We talked about that the other day. Special kind of fool. They came up, they coughed up the bat. I ain't mad at him. He did his job. John Perez, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, JP, thank you for being I already said that. Do the Cowboys even have any hope for the future at this point? Seems like they're just stuck in neutral. Man, it must suck to being a Cowboys fan. I wish I could tell you that I felt bad for them, but I don't. Because for years, they let Jerry Jones sell them a dream, and they perpetuated that narrative to others every year. This is our year, every year. And it's still dummies out there that think, oh, we're going to win next year. It's still dummies out there. Like, fan is short for fanatic. So obviously, you want to believe that you can win. And even if you know there's no chance we're winning with this guy as our leader, you still hold out hope because you're just hoping maybe we catch lightning in a bottle. You think it's an accident that they've gone 12-5 3 years in a row prior to this year and they didn't get any further than the divisional round? You think that's an accident? The other 2 times they got bounced in the wild card weekend, you think that's an accident? Because it's not. You think it's an accident that they're the only team in the NFC currently that hasn't made it to the NFC Championship game since the last time they went in 1996, the 95 season, or 96. I said that right. You think that's an accident? What was the 95 season? I said that right. They won in 92 and 93. The 49ers won in 94 and they won in 95. But it was in 1996 that they went, January of 96, that they went to the NFC Championship game and won the Super Bowl that year against the Steelers. You think that's an accident that they haven't been back since? You think that's a coincidence? Because it's not. It's not an accident. It's not a coincidence. It's them and the Browns who have the longest drought in their respective conferences, who have the longest droughts in the NFL. 2 dysfunctional, deranged franchises. The only reason Washington was among them is because they were among the worst run franchises in sports till they got new ownership. And just like that, voila, they're no longer a part of that group. Obviously, getting a quarterback the caliber of Jaden Daniels helps. But the Cowboys have had enough talent. Tony Romo, Dak Prescott, they've had enough talent to get it done. But it's just bad juju. Like, it don't got nothing to do with Romo. It ain't got nothing to do with Dak. He going to take the blame. But the football gods ain't allowing Jerry Jones to win. Nathan. Cowboys fans are going to suffer. And the bad part is when Jerry's gone, Steven's going to pick up right where Dad left off. You're stuck. That's the shit that's got to hurt. Is the thing, as a fan of a team that was once where the Cowboys are, I can speak from experience. The thing that is the most crippling when you're in that situation is you can't see light at the end of the tunnel. There's no hope. There's no, man, maybe he might do this. Because at one point, we didn't think Daniel Snyder was going to sell. We thought we was stuck. We know Jerry ain't selling a mother effing thing. Y'all are stuck. That's rough. Because you don't have a shot. I saw Michael Irvin trying to talk to our girl, Arabia, about Jerry Jones, and he tried to compare them to the Rooneys in Pittsburgh. And I'm like, man, you sound dumb. You come straight out of a comic book. I would like to leave your island. Hell wrong with Michael Irvin. Go comb your hair or some shit. You too old for that too, Michael. Clean that shit up. GT7. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, Dallas content creators who called Noah Brown B.O. Oh, yeah. You talking about Rome. is applauding the new hires. Come on, man. My sister is a Dallas fan and is pissed, laughing my ass off. So I'm a crush him the next time he on Super Friends if we get him on the Super Friends. Because if you're applauding the hires, Jerry got him brainwashed. I sat there on the last time he was on the Super Friends stream and listened to this man talk about Jerry Jones and how Jerry is ass, and he's letting Jerry link him again. He's letting Jerry rope him in again with this hire. How the hell are you applauding the hire of Brian Schottenheimer? What exactly does he bring to the table that you were lacking, or what does he do that's going to put the Cowboys over the top? First of all, what the hell has Brian Schottenheimer done in the NFL to warrant a head coaching job? Somebody let me know. Anybody. My ears are open. I'm willing to listen. I'm not closed-minded. I just want to know, what has he done to warrant this opportunity that's being bestowed upon him? Anybody got anything? I'm listening. Again, my ears are open. I'm at a loss. Like, if you're allowing Jerry to sell you on this, you're as big a clown as Jerry is. You're just as culpable in this nonsense as Jerry is. And this is why Jerry can get away with this shit, because of people like that will allow him to sell them on it, because Jerry's a salesman. There ain't many better in the NFL. That's why the man's in the Hall of Fame right now. Because Jerry Jones helped evolve the NFL because he's a salesman. He's helped this league grow exponentially by being able to sell this product to businesses and turn it into the spectacle that it has become. Jerry's largely responsible for that. And he's been selling crack to the Cowboys fans for years, and they addicted. He got them hooked. And they keep telling us, nah, man, I quit. But every time we roll around and we look at the NFC East, we see them same fiends out on the corner, like my guy Rome, out here running to the corner man, looking for the next hit. Damn shame. Damn shame. Your sister is smart enough to know, I'm done. I'm done. I ain't doing that shit no more with Jerry. You ain't selling me no more crack, bro. I'm clean. I got my life together. Any addict will tell you, and I'm not being funny here, this is some real shit, that every day is a struggle. Every day that you're clean, every day that you're sober, that's another day you're thankful for not giving in to the temptation, because that shit is tough. As a Cowboys fan, you got to stand up and you got to draw a line in the sand and say, I'm not doing this shit with Jerry no more. Either you give us a real winning product or I can't support. As Commanders fans, we had to draw the line with Dan Snyder, and we had to stop showing up at games. We had to stop spending money, stop buying apparel. We had to start really hitting this man, because that's the only thing that's going to make rich people listen to you. You want their attention? You got to hit them where it hurts the most. That's their wallet. That's their wallet. That's the only thing that's going to get them to listen. You bitching on social media, you going viral on TikTok, you going viral on that. They don't give a shit about that. Long as your ass showing up for the games on Sunday, I don't give a shit what you do on these damn platforms. Long as Jerry World selling out, and he don't give a shit who ass is in the seats. Could be the opposing team's fans. He don't give a shit. You got to do your job. We made it to the point where opposing teams was showing up buying tickets, but we weren't showing up. It was a home game for the other team. Tickets was as low as $5. You could get in the damn FedEx at one point. You got to make these owners bottom out. And Cowboys fans, they ain't strong enough to make Jerry bottom out. So he get to sell them this crack every year. He bottled it up, put it in a different. He called it Blue Magic one year. Next year, the shit called the Star. The next year, he calling it Jer's World. And it don't matter how he bottled this shit up, what he name it, they gonna buy it. He gonna push it, and they gonna purchase. They gonna get high off the supply, and they gonna want more. Even if the shit is a losing product. But he wins in the end. And that's the sad state of Cowboys fans. And if what you're telling me is true about Rome, I can't confirm or deny that. But if what you're telling me is true, Jerry got him hooked like dope. Sad state of affairs. They hired a candidate that not even the New Orleans Saints was looking at Brian Schottenheimer. And you try to convince yourself that you just made a great hire? Okay. All right. Cool beans. HTTR Carson, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, could this be, if not already, the greatest one-season turnaround in NFL in NFL or even sports history? Also, we remind us of the 2021 Bengals. Yeah, I thought about the Bengals in 2021, but I don't want to attach myself to losers. They didn't win the Super Bowl. I'm attaching myself to the 2010 Green Bay Packers, who went on the road 3 straight games. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they beat the 1, 2, and the 3 seed, and they had to play their divisional foe in the championship game in the Green Bay Packers, or excuse me, the Chicago Bears, in Chicago to win the to go to the Super Bowl, and then ultimately beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm attaching myself to winners, not losers. You want to tell me that this reminds you of the 2011 Giants or the 2010 Packers? I'm all for it. I'm not attaching myself to a team that didn't win the whole thing. But yes, this is the biggest turnaround in sports history. Find me a better one. If of course, we got to go to the Super Bowl. Can't stop here at the NFC Championship game. We go to the Super Bowl and we win it. There's no question that this is the biggest turnaround in sports history. Will be the biggest thing and the best thing since sliced bread. You can't tell me nothing. I'm going to be so ignorant. If we win the Super Bowl, oh my gosh. Y'all ain't even going to know me no more, man. I'm going to be so ignorant. People going to hate me. I probably need to behave myself. And you know what? I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to do that. I'm not even going to say that, because if I put that in the atmosphere, the football guys they're going to slap me on the wrist, and they're going to make sure we don't win, because they know how ignorant the kid going to get. So I'm not even going to say that, and I'm going to change my ways. I promise, football guys. I promise. And I behave myself. I had some righteous shit that I could have put out this year. If y'all knew how much content I'm sitting on and been sitting on, like, it's the equivalent of like tracks and stuff that artists that never sees the light of day, and you like, damn, that shit would have been crazy. I got content, I got ideas and shit that I'm just sitting on that'll never see the light of day, because I don't want the bad juju. I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on my best behavior over here, because I don't want what the Bears fans got this year. I don't want that shit. I don't want what the Lions fans just got. I don't want that shit. I've been on my best behavior because I talked to the football guys and they said, hey, we don't control karma. She got her own department and she's a son of a bitch. So, hey, watch what you do with her. I control everything over here, but Karma's a different department. And she over our head, bro. So I try to just make sure that I put good vibes and juju out in the atmosphere because I don't want the bad stuff coming back. So I'm going to behave myself. We got to, yes, Miss Championship, we got to continue to live right. It's a lot of people that wish wrong on us. We got to continue to live right, though. That's how that good stuff come back to you. So I promise I'm gonna behave myself. I ain't gonna do nothing crazy. Even if we win, I might get a little out of pocket, but it ain't gonna be to the point where you feel the need to not let me get something nice. I promise, football guys. We'll talk tomorrow, football guys. Just so you know where my head at, and you can make a decision based off of what I tell you. So we'll have an appointment tomorrow, football guys. We'll talk, and you can decide if I'm out of pocket or not. And so I'm gonna just keep it a bean. Like, I'm gonna behave myself. Stu Vision, stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB mob. You know what to do. Show Stu some love. Welcome him with open arms. Stu, it's been a while, bro. And I know you're an Eagles fan, but it's been a while. But I like you. You're one of the few that I like. We can have a real conversation. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Stu Vision, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, I'm sipping some yak. What you sipping, fam? Man, I got a lot of shit in this cup. I ain't even gonna front. So I'll just tell you two of the main components in this cup. I got some tequila. I'm a tequila guy. So I got tequila in this cup. And I got some Grand Marnier in this cup. Liqueur. That's two of the items in this cup. Just so you know. But if you see me sipping something, just assume it's some tequila in there, whatever it is. Jensen Richards, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Jensen writes, set the tone, control the tempo. We got this. We'll get to that without question. DeMondre, you can't say that before we win, because then they ain't going to let us win. If you say, I'm going to show my whole ass. The football gods say, don't show your ass, act with class. So if you tell them, I'm going to show my whole entire ass, crack and all, you really think they're going to let us win? If that's the mentality you got? We know the Eagles going to do that. The Eagles fans are ready, right? That's why they ain't going to win. You can't match that, because then the football guys are like, well, shit, I might as well let them win. If you're going to do the same shit they going to do. After the fact, you can come out and do that. But even when we beat Philadelphia, don't troll them right away, because you got to win the Super Bowl first. Once you win the Super Bowl, pull out all the receipts, because you could win this game, lose the Super Bowl, and all they're gonna do is clown you for not winning the Super Bowl. We did the same thing to Eagles fans when they lost to Kansas City. We, obviously they're gonna be like, you ain't make the Super Bowl, but don't nobody care about being second place. You don't. Hey, ain't no awards for second place. Ain't no awards for that shit. They don't say, hey, man, you had a hell of a season. Here's the second place trophy. You don't get no trophy for that shit. Ain't no award for that. You get a Hallis trophy for winning the NFC. That's cool. Last time I checked, I ain't never seen somebody, when they sign a free agent or when they having a big press conference, pull up a George Halas trophy and put that shit on a podium. I ain't never seen that. I ain't never seen somebody bring a free agent to their building and say, hey, take a look at these George Halas trophies we got, man. We got a lot of these shits. The Packers got about 12 of them hoes. But Aaron Rodgers only went to one Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers been about 8 NFC championships. He got one appearance in the Super Bowl. I ain't never seen somebody say, hey, check out these George Halas trophies we got. The 49ers been to how many Super Bowls? About 3 of them joints with Kyle Shanahan. 3 of them. Ain't never won. But they got them George Halas trophies, though. I ain't never heard somebody be like, yo, check out the George Halases we got over here, bro. You want to be a part of this? We got these George Halas trophies over here. Who doing that? Who got these Lamar Hunt trophies over here? Chiefs got about 18 Lamar Hunt trophies. You know what they also got? About 18 Super Bowl trophies to go with them Lamar Hunt trophies. The Buffalo Bills got 4 Lamar Hunt trophies in their case. 4 of them joints. You think they over there like, yo, come here. Come on. Hey, check this out. Hey, come here. Check this show out. That feel like when Day was showing Craig his rims and he was like, yo, hey, look at these joints. These shit's clean, right? These some 22s. He's like, nah, them ain't 20s. He's like, yeah, these 20s, bro. Nah, them ain't 20s. But they clean, though. And he had to finally admit, nah, they ain't 20s. Like, you can't sell nobody on these Lamar Hunt trophies. You can't sell nobody on these George Halas trophies. You got to win the Super Bowl, bro. You got to win the Super Bowl. All right. So, Jack Miller says, Brian Flores had an interview with the Bears and the Jags. Damn. How many brothers they interview? I'm asking for a friend. How many brothers did the Bears and Jags interview? Was he the only one? I'm just asking. Now, if you tell me, oh, they had already interviewed Pep Hamilton. Hey, Pep, I swear you ain't catching no more strays, bro. That's the last one. Phew! That went right straight past your head. I promise you ain't catching no more strays. That one hit the top of his shoulder, and it ain't even a flesh wound, bro. It's like it barely grazed him. I'm sorry, Pep. I ain't gonna do. I promise you, that's the last stray you gonna catch. If you tell me each of those teams interviewed another brother, okay, those were legitimate interviews. I swear, I'm okay. If you tell me neither one of those teams interviewed another brother, he was the only one, look at me. Look at me, man. So I'll let y'all tell me what's good with that. Anyway, I digress. All right, let's get to our final segment of the show. And of course, that's garbage time. And you already know what it is. You already know what it is. So here we go. Championship Sunday. 2 sleeps away. Bart Scott. Can't wait. My wife, she new to this. She true to this, but she also new to this. So let me not act like 95% of the fan base isn't new to this shit. But she really, really new to this. Like, She wasn't even on X until like 4 months ago. So she really like new to this. And now she's seeing all of the Eagles fans and how, annoying they are. And she's like, yo, I can't wait for this game to be over. I hate Eagles fans. I was like, ooh, hate is a strong word. It's a strong word. Like, I get it, but I need you to understand what this is. I told her, stay off of these Twitter streets. Stay off of these social media streets. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. But you know how they do. They don't want to listen. They don't want to listen. She can't wait for this game to be over because there's so much shit talk going on. Man, she ain't about that life. She ain't about that life. She want to put hands on somebody. She don't want to talk. She want to put hands on somebody. I'm like, girl, go sit down somewhere. We ain't doing that. So, 2 more sleeps. I'm too damn confident. Not too confident that we gonna lose. I'm too confident to the point where I'm like almost uncomfortable. I'm so confident. I got a couple more stories for y'all. Peep game. So I'm taking my son to the bus stop this morning. And it's another gentleman that live out my neighborhood who is a Commanders fan. He has a black Commanders beanie. And I told you I wear my Commanders beanie, the when y'all see me wearing all the time on some of these shows. And I wear that everywhere. So, he's seen me wear it to the bus stop when I take my son, and he take his kids, and he an older gentleman. I'm not sure if them his kids or if them his grandkids, because that's how old he is. Either way, we chopped it up. This had to be like 8 weeks ago. We, prior to the playoffs, we ain't know. It would have right around the midst of that little losing streak we was on. But we chopped it up for a little bit, and it was one of those acknowledgments like, hey, you a fan? Yeah, I'm a fan. You a fan? Yeah, that type of thing. So we already know we both fans. So he didn't have his Washington beanie on like he normally do today. But I had mine on. You know what type of time I'm on. So he saw me. I was in my truck because I told y'all, man, this cold, this shit hit different, bro. So normally I just walk my son to the bus stop. I stand out there as long as it takes for the bus to come. And then, the bus get there, kiss him, send him on his way, go back in the house. Nah, not when it's single digits outside, man. That's a different animal. We gotta sit in the truck, bro. Call me soft. I don't care. Call me soft. we in the truck, bro. We in that heat. So the bus comes. He walking back up the hill to go back to his crib. And he sees me in the truck and he see my hat. And he started talking to me. I roll my window down. He signals to me to roll my window down. He's like, 2 more games. 2 more. I said, hell yeah. He said, Philadelphia, they too goddamn confident. That's why we gonna beat them. I said, hell yeah. Hell yeah. And he kept on walking. And I said, yeah, we finna win this bitch. But this would set it off for me. Told you I had a medical emergency today. So I'm at the hospital. I'm leaving the hospital from visiting said medical emergency. And as I'm turning the corner, I got my beanie on, right? I told you I don't go nowhere without it. So one of the staff members at the hospital turns the corner and sees my beanie, and she said, I'm sick of this. Everywhere I go, because, I live in Northern Virginia, right? Everywhere I go, I see one of y'all. Excuse me, one of y'all? That means you're not one of us. I didn't call her out on that, but just her language tells me you're not one of us. She not like 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 us. So now I want to walk away from her, right? Like Jade, don't walk away. I want to walk away from her ass. Don't walk away. Because you ain't one of us. I ain't even going to give you the time of day. You wasting my time. But I listened to her. She was like, you like the fourth person I done seen in the last 30 minutes. Where y'all come from? I said, hey. And I said this with my chest out. We outside now. And we ain't never going back. She said, well, y'all going home this week. I said, nah. I looked at her just like this, straight in her eyes. I said, nah, we going to Nolans. And I walked off. I felt like a G. I swear I did. I felt like a G. Ooh, she ain't had nothing to say when I said that. I got her good. I got her good. We out here. And I love it. And people know what it is. So let's talk about these games real quick. Obviously, the first game. And it's a big one. So let me say this first before we get into the game itself. Let me say this first. I think I brought this up before. Not sure when I brought this up, where I brought it up, but I think I brought this up before. But I've seen Sam. I did bring this up because I remember talking about Sam Monson, and he talked about the matchups that he wants to see, and none of the matchups include Philadelphia. He's like, I have no interest in seeing the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he speaks for everyone that's not a Philadelphia Eagles fan. There's no interest in the Eagles. They play a boring brand of football. Nothing about their game is fun. Nothing about them is exciting. They have no real storylines. There's nothing to the Philadelphia Eagles that intrigues you. There's no reason that they need to be a part of the Super Bowl. That doesn't mean they're not going to make it. It just means if everyone had it their way, they wouldn't be a part of it because they don't drum up any interest. You could argue that people are tired of seeing the Chiefs. I could argue that people want to see them get beat in the Super Bowl. I know there are a lot of Commanders fans like, yo, we want to be the ones to end their streak. There's a lot of people that would love to see Buffalo in the Super Bowl, have a shot to win a Super Bowl. Never won. Bills Mafia, they're good people. Like, I said this about Jaden Daniels. Like, how can you hate on Jaden Daniels? He's a good dude. Like, it's hard to hate on somebody that's a good dude. The Bills Mafia donated money to Mark Andrews' charity for dropping the 2-point conversion. That's what the Bills do. Like, you do some shit against them and they feel bad for you and they donate to your charity. I've never seen anything like it. They're the best. And at some point, they deserve happiness. If we in a Super Bowl, it can't be against us. But if we don't make it, I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for them. Anybody against the Commanders is a good Super Bowl because it's the hottest storyline. Like, I mean, you just go on YouTube, go on any social media. The Commanders are trending, bro. Jaden Daniels is must see TV. Everybody, like Rich Eisen, shout out to Rich Eisen, man. Every day, Rich know too. Rich know where his bread is, but Rich like, yo, I'm getting like 70K on anything I do Jaden Daniels. I'm about to just milk this shit. And he put out something Jaden Daniels related every day, and I watch it like a dummy every day. But no, Rich been on this shit before anybody else was really like on this shit. Rich was like, yo, Jaden Daniels is the truth. So I can't even be mad at Rich. Because Rich was talking that shit when won't nobody else talking that shit. Philadelphia underdogs, you lying. You lying. I guarantee you got a space in your teeth because you lying through your teeth right now. Put a smile on your face. You lying. Let me see your teeth. You lying. I know you got a space in your teeth. Anyway. First game up. Commanders at the Eagles. Eagles are 6-point favorites. The Eagles, and this is true. I've heard this several times, and I'm not running from this. I'm not running from this. I understand what this is. So I'm gonna keep it a bean. The Eagles are better on paper at every position on the field than the Commanders except quarterback. You're not gonna get any argument out of me. Not gonna get any argument. So when you look at it from that perspective, how can they lose? Quarterback matters a lot. And this team believes in their quarterback. And this is what I talk about when you talk about elevating the play of others because they believe in you so much. Their play increases because they believe they can win because of you. It takes a special quarterback to do that, to elevate those. Ain't nobody reading books on our team on the sidelines so that they don't get bad. Ain't nobody doing that. It's a brotherhood over here. I don't remember A.J. Brown reading any books in Tennessee. That's just me. I could be wrong. He might have been reading books on the sideline in Tennessee. As far as I know, he won't read no books in Tennessee on the sidelines. But I could be wrong about that. Whatever the case may be, I do know this. Eagles are really good. They pose a bunch of threats. But here's the thing that they don't pose. They don't pose a team that is unified in the manner that the Commanders are. The Commanders have a true brotherhood. There's no dissension. There's no, conversations about this guy standing out because he's doing this or that. We ride together for one another. Ain't no answering questions about why you were doing this on the sideline or why this guy was doing that. Won't have that on our team. Ain't nobody doing no podcasts talking about other teams, this, that, and the third. Ain't none of that shit going on over here. You want to talk about on the field? Let's talk about on the field. The Eagles aren't the same defensive team that they were earlier in the season. Matthew Stafford threw for over 300 yards. Kyron Williams ran for over 100 yards. The last 3 games the Eagles played in defensively, where they played their starters, they've given up over 4.5 yards per carry on the ground. So you can run the ball on them. We know you can throw the ball on them. Jaden Daniels did it the last time they played. Yeah, he turned it over a couple of times. I'm not going to act like that didn't happen. He threw 2 interceptions. But he also threw 5 touchdown passes. This ain't the same Commanders team they saw the first time. They didn't play Jonathan Allen the last time. They didn't see a fully healthy Marshawn Lattimore. They didn't see a defensive line that was playing with confidence. They didn't see a secondary that was playing with the level of confidence they're playing with now. It's a different team. Meanwhile, I look at the Eagles, and they're not playing as good a football as they were the last time we saw them. Defensively or offensively. Their quarterback isn't healthy. Their tight end isn't healthy. Their center isn't healthy. They're giving up yards on the ground. You can throw the ball against them. The pass game is anemic. Like, it's not the same team. You got away with playing a Packers team that was decimated by injury and a Rams team that struggles to score, averaging 20 points a game, the lowest of any team in the postseason. And you still managed to give up more than their season average, which only happened because they got a safety. That's why they got to 22. They were at their season average at 20 points. They got a safety that gave them 22 points. So they were true to who they were. But now you're playing a team that averages almost 29 points a game. And in 2 playoff games is averaging 32.5 points a game. Now you ain't playing no bitch-ass offense that can't score the football. Now you playing a real outfit. How you going to handle that? Yeah, I know you got a running back over there. Saquon Barkley's a beast. Well aware. I know your defense is good. I'm not shitting on that defense. It just ain't as good as it was earlier in the season. It can be had. Commanders are without Sam Cosmi. We'll see if that makes a massive difference or not in this game. It could. I would love to sit here and tell you that it won't, but I can't say that it won't. It might make a massive difference. They got one of the best defensive tackles in football over there. You don't handle that situation correctly, he could wreck the entire game. Well aware. Duly noted. This is why I tell you, while the Eagles have the advantage on paper, roster-wise, they don't have the advantage coaching-wise. I'll take my coaches over their coaches any day of the week, twice on Sundays. Last time I checked, this game is being played on a Sunday. We'll be prepared. We'll be prepared. Destiny awaits this team. Destiny awaits Jaden Daniels. No rookie quarterback has made it further than Championship Sunday. Records are made to be broken. Not all records, but records are made to be broken. This, in a season where Jaden Daniels has broken almost every rookie quarterback record known to mankind, this is not where his journey ends. Somebody's got to set the new standard for what an NFL rookie quarterback can be. Somebody's got to do it. Might as well be the best rookie quarterback in NFL history. If you want to set yourself apart, you can't end up where Ben Roethlisberger and Mark Sanchez and Joe Flacco and Sean King ended up. You can't end up where they did. Russell Wilson, well, he didn't make it to the championship game. He made it to the divisional round. You can't end up where they ended up. And Ben Roethlisberger, if I didn't say his name, you got to make it further than them. You got to bring it all the way home. Somebody got to do it. Might as well be Jaden. Commanders are going to get this thing done. Nobody believes but us. Good. That's how we like it. That's how it's been the entire postseason. Give me my boys 31-26 over the Philadelphia Eagles as we move on to the Super Bowl and await the winner of the nightcap on Championship Sunday. Bills at Chiefs. This is the most susceptible Patrick Mahomes has been in his career. If you can't get it done in this environment against Mahomes, I don't know if you're going to be able to. They can't score, not consistently at least. They're not dynamic. They don't hit explosive plays. They haven't scored more than 30 points all season long. They struggle to sustain offense. They've needed breaks and fluky plays and block kicks to get them where they are right now all season long. That same, and I get it, family business is different. But that same Broncos team that you dispatched of 31-7, they needed a block field goal late to preserve a 18-16 victory over them. This is not a great Chiefs team. Record-wise, it is. They've only lost 2 games, and one of them was against an opponent in week 18 where they didn't play any of their starters and pretty much made sure that the Broncos won so that Joe Burrow wouldn't get in the playoffs and torment them down the road. The one team that they are afraid of. They made sure that Burrow didn't make it to the playoffs. I was undefeated in divisional round weekend. I picked the Bills. I picked the Commanders. I picked the Eagles. And I picked the Chiefs. I got the Commanders. And I'm going to tell you why. Against my better judgment, I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills. First and foremost, understand who the Kansas City Chiefs are. And understand that until you beat the man, you can't be the man. And the Chiefs ain't just giving that up. And say what you want about Mahomes and the officials and this, that. They know how to win games. And it's going to take one of them ones to beat one of them ones. You can't take down Patrick Mahomes with a Jared Goff. That shit ain't happening. You can't take down Patrick Mahomes with a Jalen Hurts. That ain't happening. No. That's not how this works. You want to take down Mahomes, it's going to take one of them ones. It's got to be a Joe Burrow. It's got to be a Lamar Jackson. It's got to be a Josh Allen. It's got to be a Jaden Daniels. That's the only way that can happen. You think Brady was going to pass the torch to just anybody? Nah, he was passing it to one of them ones. Because that's the only way that can happen. So when Brady went out, all right, Mahomes, you up. It's your turn. Got to pass it to one of them ones. Can't just pass it to anybody. Game on the line, you passing the ball to a Joe Schmo, or you going to just take the shot yourself? Depending on who you ask. Michael Jordan did pass the ball to Steve Kerr. Kobe Bryant did pass the ball to Robert Horry. But you better trust them. More times than not, Kobe's going to take that last shot. Jordan's going to take that last shot. I trust me. And if I'm going to lose, it's going to have to be the one of them ones. So Allen is qualified to take down Patrick Mahomes. But he's 0-5 in the playoffs against Mahomes. And that's a real thing. That's a real thing. When you haven't beat a team and they've been like, Mahomes he's the equivalent of the Chicago Bulls, and Josh Allen is the Utah Jazz. The New York Knicks. You could pick one. Doesn't matter. Mahomes is in the way. And he don't plan on moving. And I'm going to say this right now. The Bills will have to play better than they played on Sunday versus the Baltimore Ravens if they plan on, because Kansas City ain't turning the shit over 3 times. They're not doing that. They're not going to beat themselves. Josh Allen had 125 yards passing or some shit like that. Look it up. He had some Jalen Hurts type numbers in that game on Sunday. That shit ain't getting it done against Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to just tell you right now. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm just going to be honest with you. You want to beat Mahomes, you're going to have to outduel this man. I think Josh Allen is ready. The only thing I worry about is the rest of his squad ready too? Who is he throwing the ball to? Curtis Samuel? Keon Coleman? Like, I don't know who I'm supposed to trust here. Khalil Shakir? Who's your number one receiver? Don't say Amari Cooper, because we all know Amari Cooper ain't that for this team. You give him a full year camp, all that, maybe he could be. But right now, Amari Cooper he's a Jag in Buffalo. He's just a guy. He's just a guy. Did he even have a catch this past week against Baltimore? My guess is no. If I had to guess, I'd say he had 0, zilch, donut. Or as a wise man once said, 0 strength. My better judgment says, bro, Kansas City is winning the game. What are you talking about? Buffalo's not beating them. You know it. But I just got this feeling, man. Like, one, I don't think Kansas City's three-peating. I don't think they three-peat. So that's part of the reason why I'm like, yo, Buffalo, look, this is the thing about Josh Allen. This is what I'm going to say. Josh Allen be smoking Patrick Mahomes in the regular season. Check the tape. I don't know what the numbers look like, but I bet you Josh Allen in the regular season versus Mahomes got a winning record, even if it's 4-3. I bet you that the record in the regular season is something like 5-2 versus Mahomes in the regular season. They stay beating the damn Chiefs in the regular season. And the only reason they ain't beat them in the postseason, and I don't know what the number is in the postseason, it's like 0-4, 0-5, 0-3. It's somewhere in there, 3 to 5 losses against Mahomes. Excuse me. See if I can get the number right now. Allen's rookie season was 2018. He did not make the playoffs. He made it in 2019 for the first time. They lost to the Texans. 2020, he made it to the AFC Championship game for the first time against the Chiefs. They lost. That's one. 2021, they made it to the playoffs. They lost to the Chiefs again. That was if I'm not mistaken, that was the game where Allen and company had the 13 seconds overtime, never saw the ball, and that's what instituted the new rule that you had to see. Both teams had to see the ball in overtime in the playoffs. So that's 2 losses to the Chiefs. 2022, they got smoked by Joe Burrow and company at home. 2023, they got smoked by Mahomes at home in the divisional round. So that's 3. So Josh Allen is 0-3 against Pat Mahomes in the playoffs in the Chiefs. 0-3. I bet you he got a winning record against him in the regular season, though. I don't know what that looks like. 4-2, 5-1. It ain't 3-3. It's something along the lines of 4-2, 5-1, something like that. I bet any amount of money. They had him dead to rights in 2021. I'm telling you, this team ain't as talented as that 2021 team was, but Allen is playing better and freer than that 2021 team. And the Chiefs, this is what scares me with them. They're not scoring. They're not sustaining offense. That offensive line is a sieve. They're not making explosive plays. And this is the biggest thing. They can't run the football. In past years, the Chiefs have been able to run the ball. Their run game stinks. So it's all on Mahomes. And because they're not in sync, like I don't think DeAndre Hopkins had I'm not even sure if he had a target last week, let alone a catch. I don't even remember seeing that man targeted. I forgot he was even on a team watching the game last week. Josh Allen knows how to beat Mahomes. Now he just got to do it in the playoffs, and I think he's ready to do it. You don't do it this year, I don't know when it's going to happen, bro. This is the year. This is the year. I got the Bills. They can run the football. They got 2 tight ends. The receivers worry me. But where they make up the difference between the run game, the tight ends, and the collection of receivers they got, where they make up Josh Allen as a runner. If it's 3rd and 2, they going quarterback power, like they in college. They're going quarterback power like it's Tim Tebow. It's 4th and 1, quarterback power on some Tim Tebow shit. And they daring you to stop it. And Allen has embraced it, and the shit works. They're going to win that game 23-21. Low scoring. Ain't going to be a bunch of points scored. Because Kansas City defense ain't giving up a bunch of points. But the Chiefs offense ain't scoring a bunch of points. But the Bills offense, the Bills are going to do just enough. Give me the Bills 23-21. Bills Commanders Super Bowl. I could care less who the opponent is. We a team of destiny. I went to pick up my kids from daycare this evening, and I told y'all the lady that works there is a Commanders fan. So I said, what we doing this Sunday? She said, I'm a nervous wreck. I said, don't tell me that you nervous. She's like, the last time we played them, I couldn't even watch the end of the game. And I was like, we're winning this game, girl. We winning. And she's like, I want to play the Bills. I think it's going to be the Bills. And I'm like, oh, so you want that rematch of 91, huh? And there was another Commanders fan in there. She had on her Redskins jacket, though. She ain't give a shit. She was like, nah, I want the Chiefs. I want to play the Chiefs, and I want to beat them. I'm sick and tired of them winning the Super Bowl. I want the Chiefs. I said, okay, so you one of them. And as I'm walking out, I got my kids. I said, y'all have a good weekend. I said, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I said, I don't give a damn which one it is. I just want to get there. And I shut the door as I walked out. And that's where I'm at with mine. I just want to get there. We'll deal with whoever's there when we get there. It was the same thing when we won on Saturday in the divisional round against the Lions. We won and we didn't know who we were playing. We didn't give a shit. We just, hey, we already there. We punched our ticket. We got a chance to do that again. So let's do it again. That's my prediction. Those are my predictions, rather. Commanders, 31-26 over the Eagles. Bills, 23-21 over the Chiefs. Bills, Commanders, Super Bowl. That's going to do it for me. Your man, Louie T, here on this installment of the Louie T Network podcast. Late night Louie edition. Y'all know what it is. I really appreciate y'all for kicking it with the kid. I'll be live on Sunday. Watch party. Live from Richmond. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, what you waiting on? Link is in the description of this video, and it'll be pinned in the comment section. You got any concerns, questions, hit me up, LouieTeeNetwork@gmail.com. We can get you squared away, get you some tickets, get you in the building. Gonna be a lot of fun. You want to donate, can't be there, but you want to donate. Same thing. Same link. You can donate. Looking forward to all of you who are going to be in attendance, meeting y'all, chopping it up with y'all, and most importantly, raising hell with y'all. Super Bowl. Next time I see y'all on the podcast, we talking Super Bowl. 2 teams will be left. There are 4 now. 2 will be left standing, and we'll be talking Super Bowl. Will it be the Eagles? Will it be the Commanders? Will it be the Bills? Or will it be the Chiefs? Only one way to find out. Sunday. Championship Sunday. Bart Scott. Can't wait. I'll see you guys the next time on the Louie T Network podcast. Should be a lot of fun over the weekend. You guys have a great weekend. I'll see you on the other side. Hopefully, my Washington Commanders are heading to New Orleans. If not, I'll be pissed. But I will not be deterred. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.